Okay, so we got something that I think is kind of interesting here today. Let's do some ratio and proportion problems, which are really just a matter of applied algebra. So first question, a map uses a scale of 2 inches for every 15 miles. Two towns are 7 inches apart on the map, and we want to know how many miles then apart are the towns. So here's the first step. You got to set up the proportion with the same units in the same places. So for us, we're going to put the inches on top and the miles on the bottom on both sides. So 2 over 15, we're going to set equal to 7 over x. Okay, now we're going to cross multiply. See the algebra? So 2x is going to equal 105. Divide both by 2, and x becomes 52.5 miles, and that is answer B. Question 2. You have a printer that produces 480 pages in 3 hours. Pretty sure my printer would burn out at that rate. But at that rate, how many pages does it produce in 5 hours? Okay, so as before, find the unit rate first. And it's worth pointing out, a rate is just another kind of proportion. It's another kind of ratio. In fact, they even share the same root in Latin. Rate is the amount divided by time. It's the output divided by time. So turning to the numbers, we have 480 divided by 3, and that gives us 160 pages per hour. Okay. Now multiply that rate by the new time that it will be running. The hour values, you notice, are actually going to cancel each other out here nicely, which just leaves you with the output of the pages. This is actually really important for tracking in all sorts of subjects. 160 times 5 is 800 pages, so that's answer C. Question 3. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 3 to 5. If there are 32 students in the class, then how many are girls? Now be careful here. The ratio is part to part, not part to whole. So this is what we mean by that. You're going to want to combine first, as your first step, 3 and 5. Okay, so 3 plus 5 is going to give you 8 parts or 8 shares. Very, very important that you figure out the number of units behind each one of those two numbers, that is the 3 and the 5, before you relate to the total, and that is the total students. So those 8 parts or units they share 32 students. So each unit, once you divide them, what's 32 divided by 8? It's 4. Now go back to that first ratio of 3 to 5, okay? And now we can figure out how many are actually behind each one of those numbers. So the girls get 5 shares, or 5 parts. 5 times 4 is 20. Answer B. Look out for the obvious trap, which is 12, which is the ratio, the correct number of the boys, but that's not what the question asked you. Last one here, and yes, we have a classic car mile per hour problem. A car travels 54 miles in 45 minutes. So at this rate, how many miles does it travel in 2 hours? The tricky thing with this one is that it mixes minutes and hours. So first you got to match the units. We want to make sure the time units are the same. So 45 minutes is what to an hour? Well, it's 3/4 of an hour. Now we want the unit rate. So 54 divided by 3/4 is 72 miles per hour. Multiply that by the time to get the output. So 72 times 2 is 144 miles, and that's answer B. Once again, the tempting trap for this one is going to be doubling the 54 and getting 108. But that move forgets that the trip actually took less than an hour. Okay, so watch out for that. With these problems, you need to match the units, you need to find the unit rate or ratio, and then you'll start to scoop up some easy points in the CLT.